Hi, we're talking about my Yolobox, and what I have here is a slightly modified Yolobox Mini with a cage on it. I've got this cage because I wanted to hang this Raspberry Pi on the side, and you can see there I can now have this conveniently next to the HDMI input, so I can use this to convert the goggles of my FPV drone into an HDMI out into the input of one of the inputs for the Yolobox Mini. I've modified this slightly because one of the things I didn't like about the Yolobox is that you have to type everything here, and you're limited with typing it onto this keyboard screen here and doing long form content, even for the title or even the description. You're limited by retyping every time for the title and description. Instead, I thought it would be best if I just use the Jina app drawer, and this system basically is a way to install Skype so that I can basically message the long form descriptions or template into the description, copy and paste it, then go into Yolobox app and paste it into the description without using on-screen keyboard. There's other things that you can install like Speedify and a few notes and pictures that you could use, but I mainly use this as a way to import and copy text into the description of your live stream as you set it up. So once you've got into the app drawer, you can now conveniently show you the Android apps. The one that I particularly wanted was Skype. Because I wanted Skype, I can now open it up and tap on a message to myself, and I have all the show notes that I have here, so I can just copy and paste. Long press copy, swipe up to get back to the home page, and YOLO Live, make new live stream, create new live stream, go into the details and long press and paste. So all my show notes are now pasted onto here. I've now got all of the notes down there. If I wanted to, I'd just get the description or type in my own description here on top, and there you have it. Ultimately, the reason why I got this is because I wanted to have the Raspberry Pi. This is a Raspberry Pi 4B. It's an 8 gig one, probably overkill for what I need, but it's an 8 gig RAM, and it's just a normal Raspberry Pi with a box, and I've taped off the USB 3 connections because they don't work for my needs. All I needed is just the USB leads sockets here, going out to my FPV goggles, and it's a USB-C socket there and a USB-A socket here. You just need a long lead so that it will convert the signal from the goggles out to the HDMI mini here, and that mini goes to the input of my Yolobox mini, and it works fairly well. Beyond that, I think this Yolobox mini is working a positive treat with my workflow at the moment, especially for connecting the Pocket 3, because now this does digital zoom, which I can zoom in and out and it works perfectly. And because the SIM card is on the box itself, this now works much more strongly. There's no interference basically, because there's a wire connection between the USB-C and the USB-A here, and because of that there's no Wi-Fi interference affecting the drop frames on the output. As I've said over the live stream, that once I've live streamed through this system, I can look at the values of the output and see that it's actually working really well. There's hardly any drop frames at 1080, and I'm outputting 3 megabytes roughly, give or take 10%, through this system. So no drop frames, 1080 live streams out in the open, in the middle of where there's a huge crowds of people with hotspot phones and bouncing signals off of buildings in a cramped inner city area. So going through the worst of what I thought would be for live streaming, it works perfectly. I've even gone into shops and stuff with this system. Granted, I was kicked out because it looked obvious with this monitor, you know, next to the camera. So that's my next project, is to have this filmed or this connected remotely, so that I can have only this camera in my hand and this monitor hidden in a bag somewhere as I walk around. Beyond that, I think from my experience the Yolobox Mini is just the best. So now I've live streamed with this, and many of the updates have just improved this system so much more. So yeah, I can recommend pairing your Osmo Pocket 3 to the Yolobox. The only downside now is that there's a 4.5 amp battery on this unit, and a fairly small battery, probably lasting an hour or so, on this camera system. And this camera drains a lot from here, so if I was lucky, I'd probably be live streaming for just over an hour with this before this starts to drain down to 30%. I do have like a battery handle which I can plug into here, which gives me a 2.1 amp supply at 5 volts, and that will supply and keep this sustained, give me an extra 2 hours or so with the system. But yeah, this camera drains your power quite a lot, and even now you can see that with this system alone, I've had this for about 30 minutes or so, and it's at 97%. So it doesn't drain down fast on its own, but when it is paired with the camera, it drains down a lot. Anyway, I hope that this little tour of my Yolobox and my review. Helps you to decide if you're going to use something similar. I thoroughly recommend this for a portable system, more so as a vlog live stream with these two things alone and a SIM card, rather than the ZVE10. I mean, this kind of works, but there's no stabilization on the E10, whereas the stabilization on this working a treat. So if you're out vlogging, I recommend using a combination of these two units just to live stream. And once you put this on, I mean, I've tried it on a bike, I've tried it walking around, I've tried it in cities, I've tried it in a market, almost round crowds, and anywhere complicated in Hong Kong. This seems to work a treat. Anyway, like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Cheers. Bye.